Hello Australia, welcome to episode 679 of The Couch. We have got a big show today. Let me tell you who's on. Hannah Jade Kepler, songwriter, singer, performer, actor, director, and everything else. She's going to be singing a brand new song today and also talking to us about her brand new book or novel. Her mum's coming in as well, Jerry Kepler, talking about a brand new theatre that's opened up here in WA a few years ago. So it's brand new on The Couch anyway. Later on, we talk entertainment with Alexander Sacosta, talking movies and streaming with Paul Elwyn. Rachel Pronk is in. She's the events coordinator for the fantastic Taste of Chittering Fair that's coming up very soon. And guess what? They're back, the three panel members for Bitchin'. We've got Ted Bull, Jen Merrigan and Chris Ilsley. And I think that's about it for now. Big show, 679 starts now.
It's showtime on the couch. It's showtime on the couch. You can see it from your house. You can see it from your house. It's showtime on the couch with Fred and the best in town. You can see it from your house. Yeah, it's showtime on the couch. Oh, oh, oh.
Hello Australia, welcome to another episode of The Couch. Hello Victoria, things are looking good, getting better over there. Hopefully you'll be able to stay home still and watch The Couch because of your curfew. We start at 10:30 over there in Melbourne and Sydney, so thank you very much for watching us. And to the rest of Australia, I hope you're doing well as well. Big show, let's get straight into it. Couple of special guests. We've known you guys for so long. Jerry Kepler on the left here, mum, and we've got Hannah Jade Kepler on the right, daughter, middle daughter, can we say. Yeah. Thank you both for coming in today. I know we've only got 8 minutes, but I want to get this through because it's really important. You started off as a singer on our show.
Yes.
Do you remember how old you were when you first sang on our show?
Seven, yeah.
7 years old, and you're now 14?
Yes.
So nearly half your life ago.
Yeah.
Now, I said you're an author, you're a writer, you're an actor, and you're a singer. Now, tell us a little bit more about Hannah Jade Kepler.
So, well, I started off at the age of 2.5 when I was placed into singing, dancing lessons, and it just clicked. All of a sudden, performing just clicked inside of me, and I love it so much. We've learnt to, at the age of 7, I joined a drama group, and that's around about the time I met you after doing the 2013 canning show. Yep. Yeah.
So tell me about the book, because I've got the book here in front of me. Tell me about this amazing book.
So the books are called The Super Duper Totally Not Real Diary of 12-year-old Delilah Darkleen, and it's about this 12-year-old girl, Delilah, starting her first year of high school with her best friend, Austin. And together, it's them working through managing all the highs and lows of high school and being a teenager or becoming a teenager.
So, the question I ask is, how did you come up with the book?
So, it's kind of a long process.
Keep it short, because we've only got 3 minutes left.
Yeah.
So, sorry, as a director, I know you can talk, but we've only got a very short time. So tell us very quickly, how did you come up with the story?
So it started in 2018. I was doing Pelly the Pelican at the Bailing Up Telling Tales, and that's when I came up with the premise and the title. And then over 2018 and 2019, I wrote the story.
So how long did it take you to physically write the book?
Physically write it? A year.
Yep.
So 1 year.
That's not bad.
Yeah. And then we've been adding inserts recently, the closer we get to publishing.
Beautiful. Now, it's coming out very soon, but before we say that, who's the target audience for the book?
The target audience would be young girls aged anywhere from 10 to 13.
So not good for boys to understand girls, maybe?
They
Would you recommend it to boys?
They're boy characters.
There are boy characters if they could like it.
So you're saying it's targeted to young girls,
yes.
But if boys want to read it, it's up to them. They might learn something.
Yeah.
You never know. So the book itself, it's finished now, isn't it? Because I noticed we've got we were going to have just the photo, but we've got the whole book and it's beautifully written. Can I tell people at home, the book's written like a diary, as a teenager would write a diary. So it looks like I'm reading your personal diary. Yeah. Was a lot of truth in the book?
There was quite a lot of truth. I've added inserts from my actual diary and my life there's a lot of me and my friends in that book, so it's really special.
So when's it being published? When can we go and buy it?
1st of October, but we're already doing pre-sales thanks to the lovely Claudette Pope and Lisa Wilstein, who are my publishers at Footprints Publishing.
And we've got the website will come up on screen in a second as well. So the book's available now. You also, I know we're running out of time, but you also wrote a beautiful song that it's called Calling Me.
Yes.
Now, I've got the CD in front of me here. You're going to sing that for us in a couple of minutes' time. Now, you help your mum run NCT Theatre.
Yes.
And where to from here? Can I ask you, in 5 years' time, where would you like to be?
So at this point in time, I'm doing a Cert 3 at TAFE for music industry.
Yep.
And of course, in 5 years' time, I'd like to have completed that, possibly be in uni for music, and just continue my writing.
Cert 3 at TAFE at 14 years of age.
Yes.
Well done. Well done. I bet your sisters are loving you heaps too.
Yeah.
No, look, well done. I know we don't have a lot of time, but we'll put you out there. Just one quick one. Who's your inspiration for writing the book?
So I love my mum mostly because she's just done so much over my lifetime.
Yep.
But also my writing mentor, Kes Wickham St. George. She's helped me write this book along the way, helping mentor me in the processes of it.
Yep.
And she's just been a really great
Give
help.
us your website for those people who want to follow you, please, Hannah.
Facebook?
Yep. What's your Facebook?
My Facebook
We'll put it up, and that way you can actually read it off the screen if you like. I think we've got it on screen. There it is. Is that it there?
New City Theatre Inc.
Not
on
Inc.
Facebook.
That's all right. As long as we can follow you from there, that's
And she's
fine.
Hannah Jade
And
Kepler.
on my Instagram is Hannah Jade Kepler.
Beautiful. That's your Instagram page. Google it. You'll find her. Now, I need you to jump up because we're going to get you to perform in a couple of minutes. So thank you very much. Good luck with the book. It's out, available. People can start looking at it now, pre-sales. Well done. Mum, thank you very much for coming in. You must be really proud of your daughters. I know they're all talented kids. But can I say for a 14-year-old to have achieved what she has, it's a big thing. So well done. But tell me about New City Theatre. What's it all about?
Okay, so New City Theatre has been around for a few years, but I have now recently taken it over as New City Theatre Youth.
Yep.
So the group runs from about, I think my youngest member is about 6 at the moment, and we go through to young adult.
Beautiful. So what's the vision for the actual theatre company?
The vision for New City Theatre from the youth point of view is to give the children or youth a opportunity to be able to experience the industry and be able to put real life experiences onto their resumes.
So I asked, a lot of people don't know you, but you're a school teacher as well.
Yes,
so
I
you're
am.
not only a mum, you're also an actor. You're also a person that I've known for many years that's helped your kids in their performances, singing, etc. So you've got a lot of background there when it comes to performing and singing and taking kids everywhere in Perth to be part of different shows. So the actual theatre company, what are the components? What can people learn by coming through you guys?
Well, we obviously do the shows, and I try to get children into all the key parts. So I've got like Hannah, she wrote a play that we did last week at Youthful. So the latest play was A Soldier, a Poet and a Harlequin. For that, the advertising work was also done by a student. I've got students doing the sound, the lighting, directing to a certain degree as well. So I try to put them...
It's truly a local community theatre, isn't it?
It is. And we've also now going on to YouTube as well. So the children, while they were in lockdown, the juniors wrote a web series as well. And we actually recorded it, and the first episodes are.
So my question to you is, if people want to get involved, do you recommend they get through to you from your Facebook page and get in touch? And what are the age groups again that you can look after?
We don't really have an end age group as the kids are growing up. The youngest I've got at the moment, I think, is about 6. I've gone down to 3. And at the moment, the oldest I think I've got is about 18. But I've got older ones that come in and go.
And what days and times are you guys open?
Thursdays, 4:30 to 6:30 at the Canning Town Hall.
So it's after school, so it works perfectly. And is there a show that's coming up very soon?
We have just finished last week, and we are now moving on to our new one.
So if you can support them financially or in any way, we'd love you to get in touch, because a community theatre relies on your money to help them continue. I'm assuming there's not a lot of funding there from government, etc.
No, there's the Canning Council is wonderful by providing us with a place to rehearse. But yeah, other than And
Jerry,
that's wonderful that
as
what
a
they
famous
do.
commercial once said, you should be congratulated. Well done. I don't think it was a butter commercial, but that's
Meadowloo.
Jerry Kepler. Of course, her daughter is Hannah Jade Kepler. She's centre stage. She's got her brand new song. It's called Calling Me. Can people buy this song now?
Yes, they can. Well, in the next... So it's
Where
been
would
released...
it be? Spotify or?
Yeah, Spotify, iTunes, Apple, all of them. Its release date is the 22nd
Again,
of September.
Thank you very much. Support them. Here she is, centre stage with a brand new song. She wrote this for a web series, which is incredible, which is coming out soon. What's that called?
It's called Odd Ones Out. It's by Red Light Films.
There you go.
And
Well done. Here she is, centre stage. She's very, very happy to perform for us. A brand new song called Calling Me. Here's Hannah Jade.
See the waves crash on a Sunday morning. Let it carry us out to sea. Hear the music of the soft, sweet swallow. I can hear it calling me. In the sadness grows a light, like a flame fighting water. Out of the shadows I shine bright. I can hear it calling me. As certain as the sun will shine again, I know I'll have you until the very end. Through the bad times, through the good times, from the morning till the night time, you'll be there calling me. See the sunset on a pretty daydream. Let the night time set us free. Send a smile on a world forever changing. Something's out there calling me. In the sadness grows a light, like a flame fighting water. Out of the shadows I shine bright. I can hear it calling me. As certain as the sun will shine again, I know I'll have you until the very end. Through the bad times, through the good times, from the morning till the night time, you'll be there calling me. Hear the laughter of friends that I hold dear. Feel the daydream slip away. Let what I used to know slip into the hands you hold, chasing only what I cannot see, following you, calling me. As certain as the sun will shine again, I know I'll have you until the very end. Through the bad times, through the good times, from the morning till the night time, you'll be there calling me.
That is, of course, Hannah Jade Kepler. Thank you very much for performing today. Good luck with your brand new song, Calling Me. Please, you can get that on Spotify, by the way, if you're looking for it. And it's going to be part of a new web series as well. We'll give you more details when we know ourselves. But well done. 14 years old. She's in TAFE. She's studying music composition. And I have to congratulate any young person doing that sort of stuff. As our very own Alexander Sacosta would know, how old were you when you started, Alex, in entertainment and all that? Please don't say 25.
I think it's from the second when you're little, you're doing all those little shows for your family.
You
So
know
I
you
was-
want to be a performer or
Yeah,
entertainer.
you can tell the children that like.
When were
they're
you
already-
funny? Please don't say last week.
Some
Like,
audiences will
did
say
you-
I'm still not funny.
People don't, not all people know you do acting as well.
Yeah, I try to
You've done a lot
put
of
my hand in
commercials.
lots of pies and also acting and singing and dancing.
Yeah, and the comedy side of it. When did that all start?
That
for
was 3 years ago. I used to do a lot of improv, and then
Yeah.
someone said, "Oh, you should try doing some stand-up," and I did my first stand-up gig, and then People laughed, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
And then I kept going after that. So then
Well, there you go. A little bit about Alexander Sacosta.
Make him laugh, make him
And
laugh,
if you
make
need
him
an
laugh.
actor or an extra or whatever, mainly an actor, he doesn't.
Actor,
You know,
featured extra.
Neighbours, if you're listening.
Neighbours, if you are listening, please.
And he doesn't want to play Bouncer the dog. He did that before. I want to play a skinny person in Neighbours if there's anything coming up. Talking entertainment.
Yes, yes.
The Kardashians are back in the news again. What's
Yeah.
happening with them?
It's over, Fred. Pack
Yes,
your bags.
I believe she's quit.
Finished. The entire reality show's finished.
Is
They're
that a
going to
bad
do one
thing?
more season and that's it. This is crazy though. This
But
is
they're
2020. It's like
loaded.
they're the four horsemen of the apocalypse, the sisters.
They
of
are
the apocalypse.
loaded, but aren't they? The
Yeah, but it's so
Kardashians are-
weird because why would you not? This was their big moneymaker because
Why do
they
you
could,
reckon they've done it? You
I
know,
think it has
you've
something to do with Kanye West.
Okay.
I think it's something to do with
husband.
the rumors are that he wanted to be more involved with the producing of the show and deciding what they focused on, and there was a lot of tension between him and the mum, Kris Jenner. So I think that's what's caused a lot of friction in the family, and they've decided, well, then we won't do it anymore because a lot of them weren't even appearing in the show towards the.
Do you know
last
if I
season.
ran into them in the street, I wouldn't even know who they are, and yet I know they're a hit sensation around the world.
They are one of the most
Amazing.
famous families, more famous than like the royals.
Yep.
Like the
Amazing,
internationally
isn't it?
famous. It's kind of crazy when you think how
So
it all
from
started
here-
15 years ago.
She's going to give it all up.
It's done.
Good,
No
good
more.
job.
How are we going to keep up, Fred?
I'm not going to argue with her decision. I'm just going to accept it.
Okay.
I think it's a good move. What's happening with Chadwick? Is it Boseman?
Yeah, unfortunately, he did pass away a few weeks ago now, but they held a memorial for him, his family. And it's one of those very sad stories because now there's all these beautiful memorials being done and to these speeches he's made. Because he was unwell for quite a while, even while he was filming Black
And he was
Panther.
the star of the
He was the lead actor in it, yeah, absolutely. And he did have cancer while he was filming the movie.
Really?
And no one knew at all. So he
How
kept it a
old would
very
he be?
private battle.
Did you say how old
He's
he was?
43 when he
How
passed
young
away.
is that?
Very, very young. And he married his wife just prior to actually getting really, really sick. But yeah, no one even knew. So even the directors now, with the new film, they were writing it, getting ready to start shooting Black Panther 2 with him in it because they had no idea that he was unwell.
Condolences to all his
Very sad,
family and
very
also
sad.
friends and viewers that loved him.
Yeah, and it
People
was one of the
watching.
most popular of all the Marvel films. So it's a huge loss to the film and to all of. Yeah,
Well, he will be missed, I think. A great actor as well.
Fantastic actor.
Now, with all the changes, we've just here in Perth had recently Channel 10's
Yeah,
sort of closed down their local news, but also radio.
The radio stations are now starting to pull the regional shows. So it's very upsetting to kind of hear that
Yeah.
all these local produced and very local, it's local people are losing their jobs and being made redundant because they're trying to streamline everything
Yep.
into these kind of hubs.
It's the problem with networking. People, us here in Perth, the problem here is we're 2 hours and 3 hours in summer
Right.
behind. And I think networking is a sad thing. I mean, I have to say, 6PR doesn't do it. 6PR is fully live and local.
Yes.
But a lot of the other radio stations, I think from about 7 o'clock, it comes from over east.
Yeah.
I mean, gone is your local talent,
Yeah.
experience, local information, local music, and local news.
Local everything. And I think it's a shame because then all of that, this is a like contagion almost. Like the more we get rid of, the more we will get rid of. And then eventually we'll have like one channel we'll all be watching.
And it all comes back to money. Unfortunately, with Nova and Hit, they've taken a hit on their revenue. And Nova's done very well.
Yes.
Because a lot of people don't know, Nova owns Smooth FM, and they also own Coles Radio, which is the #1 digital. Believe it
The
or
one
not,
you hear inside the supermarket?
Yeah, it's the #1 radio station on the digital platform. So Nova are doing well, but I think a lot of people, and even can I just say, a lot of people thought Channel 10 had gone broke. Channel 10 are not broke. They're very, very wealthy.
They're owned by CBS Viacom. aren't they?
Correct,
Yeah.
and CBS own them. And if they were broke, they wouldn't be getting rid of someone and then employing someone.
Someone
at
else,
double
correct.
the-
Yes.
So it's all about making money, cost cutting, and making more profit for its owners. So it's a bit sad. So Nova and Hit regional areas, I'm very sorry.
Yeah.
Everything will get networked. And that's just the way it is. Tom Hanks is back in Australia.
Yeah, he flew back in to continue filming. So he left earlier in the year, obviously, when the pandemic started.
I saw him. He
because
didn't even
was
have to isolate.
Didn't even have to
Well,
isolate. And this
in a
is where
hotel.
the issue is again, because they were saying, why is there one rule for celebrities and then one rule for everyone else? So
I
he got
asked
to
the
come
same
in straight
thing.
away, and then they're going to start filming again.
I was quite annoyed, and we will
Why?
be talking about this in Bitchin, how the Premier of Queensland allowed...
Anastasia.
Yeah, she allowed him to come in and not isolate in a
Yeah, at
hotel.
all.
He could pick his own luxury
Yeah.
resort. But the sad thing about this is it does create a precedent where how come the football stars can all go in there and yet a girl could not go and see her father in hospital?
And that's where you and then you're going to build this resentment towards these celebrities who really aren't the ones who've demanded this. Tom Hanks is a very down-to-earth kind of person. He wouldn't have demanded that. And it wasn't just him, it was him and 11 other people, family members and crew. So it's quite a few.
It's really hypocritical, to be honest with you. And these new diversity requirements for movies and television.
This is very interesting.
I'm going to agree. I know where you're going and I'm going to agree with you. Personally, I think it's been happening for a while.
Yes.
And I'll give you the example, folks. Watch a show like Neighbours.
Yes.
And I'm not saying it's a bad thing.
No.
If you notice with Neighbours, they've got an Asian family, an Indian family, an Italian family, a gay couple, a lesbian lady. It's almost like they now have to be seen to be politically correct.
Right.
So they have to have one of everything in everything.
Yes.
But I'm one of the people that believes people should apply for a job, and if they're good at that job, they should be given
So
it.
it's equal opportunity.
We shouldn't target people because of their backgrounds.
Yeah.
But what's happening? They're changing
So the Academy
rules.
Awards from, I think, in the one in 4 years from now, 2024, I think it was, there's requirements on the Best Picture nomination to have a lead or supporting actor from a minority, as well as people behind the scenes, so that's screenwriters.
So the more
and
boxes
producers.
apparently that you can tick.
Well, they're saying it's like this full document that you'll have to actually to qualify.
So if you've got a fat person in there, that scores you 10 points. It's true, but
in a sense, we're it's a very
minority
clumsy
groups.
way of approaching it.
It's
I
almost
feel.
like minority groups need to be chosen, and if you choose them, you'll get looked after when it comes to funding and awards.
Well, in a way, yeah, and it's
So
not.
we should do well.
Yes, hopefully.
You'll get 5 boxes if you pick me. So do you think it's a good thing? I mean, you're an actor. You're a
It's
performer.
such a complicated thing because on the one hand, there was so much history of it being quite racially motivated, all the ways that minorities were mistreated throughout Hollywood's history. So there is this kind of backlash in a sense where the pendulum is now starting to swing the other way and people saying, well, why not? You've had an entire 100 years of movies with the same people
But
in
I
them.
don't think things were done deliberately.
No, and that's why it's hard.
Do you
You're like,
remember
well,
when-
can we blame people from the past? Can we, It's very clumsy,
think-
very convoluted, lots
I
of
think,
emotions run
say,
high.
for example, I apply for a job as a ballet dancer.
Right.
And I can't do it because I'm too heavy.
Right.
Then I shouldn't make the organisation employ me and edit the whole thing. So
But I guess this is questioning the entire idea of the art form itself. Like, why is, for example, ballet, why is that a requirement?
Correct.
Dance does not necessitate.
But it should be the
weight.
individual. The individual should be able to.
Yes.
No one stops anyone from having a go.
Meritocracy.
But I remember when I used to go
Skills
to Johnny
should
Young
transcend.
Talent School, I used to have to dance, and I couldn't dance, so I quit. But I made that choice. I wasn't pushed.
Well, that's good too. And that's the thing. You should be given the opportunity. You should never be told, oh, sorry, we're not going to have any big dancers. Sorry.
I just worry that we're going down this more politically correct area where soon some people are going to. That you have to discriminate in everything you do.
Yeah.
And I hope now it's not going to push good actors, good performances out and bring in people just because they're a
just
minority
because.
group.
And the thing is that people probably feel the same way. They don't
Correct.
want to just be there because they've been put there. They want to be there because they've earned it too.
Correct, Alex.
Yeah, so it's an interesting time in entertainment. 2020. Everything's changing, Fred. Everything's changing.
It is going to change, not for the better sometimes. And a lot of people worried about it. I need to go to the break because I think we've run out of time. But can I just say, you're going to be back with us with Questionable a couple of weeks or
Yes,
so.
I'm coming on
maybe next
tomorrow.
week.
We're going to talk a bit about, cancel culture. I'm very curious.
Look forward to that. That is Entertainment with Alexander Sacosta. His website is alexandersacosta.com if you'd like to follow him on any sort of platform. We'll take a break. Be back with movies and streaming with Paul right after this. Well done. Thank you. Welcome back to the couch. We're just talking about Ellen, but I'm not going to tell you what I said because Ellen would get very angry with me, and she's not known for getting angry. Paul Elwyn, welcome back. We're talking movies
you.
and streaming. Have you had a good week?
Yeah, very good week, thank you. Yes, there's so much movies and streaming coming
There is.
out still. It's
But I reckon
interesting,
they're
very
doing that for Melbourne.
Yes,
Melbourne and the eastern states.
logistical
I think
nightmare,
there's
yeah.
so much good content on a lot of the movies are coming back in big form. And I believe here in WA we're very lucky because a lot of our cinemas are open again.
Yeah.
I know over east not everything's open again. I do hear you when you write to me and say, wish our movie cinemas were open, but
That's
it will
right.
happen.
Hang in tight, and
But-
you'll get there. And
Exactly. We're going to look at
yeah.
streaming as well for those people at home. There's
Yes.
lots of stuff to stream. But let's get
Heaps of
straight
stuff.
to it. Well, 4 fantastic movies. Let's talk
awesome
about
movies.
the first one.
They're coming out, and one of them's actually already out. The first one we got is Death on the Nile. This is the sequel to the Murder on the Orient Express. Kenneth Branagh is bringing back the Agatha Christie cinematic universe in some way with Hercule Poirot. one of the famous characters from it. He's amazing. He does he's done mainly Shakespeare stuff like Much Ado About Nothing and Henry V. This one, the cast is huge. The production looks amazing. It's all in it's all in Egypt, and there's a murder mystery to this. Wow. And what it is Kenneth Branagh is the main character, Hercule Poirot, but we've also got Gal Gadot, Wonder Woman, Annette Bening's in it, and also one of my favourite comedians, Russell Brand, is in it as well.
Yes.
And teaming up again, for the first time in a long time, Dawn French and Jennifer Saunders, who are from the iconic comedy duo French and Saunders in the 80s. So they're actually both in this as well.
So you've got a really star cast performance.
Massive cast, but like Murder on the Orient Express had a huge cast, and that was a awesome fun
so
film.
they've virtually recreated that mood in the movie, I guess.
Yeah, because the older series that they used to have a stellar English cast, but this one's good. There's quite a bit of variety in the people in this as well.
So check this out. It's coming very soon, or is that one out?
Death on the Nile. Coming soon, yes.
Okay, let's have a look at Antlers.
Antlers is scary as it's it's based on a strange short story. You can actually see this short story, read it on the internet by Nick Anderson. The short story is called The Quiet Boy, but this one is an quiet Oregon town. A school teacher is intrigued by the behavior of one of these kids, and so her and the sheriff are investigating what's going on in the town.
Looking at that kid, I wonder why.
This kid...
I see dead people.
Yeah, this kid's like, he's some strange background or something's happening. Is there a monster? Is there a murderer? Is there a strange family going on? What the heck's happening? And Kerry Russell, who used to be in the old sitcom Felicity, she's in this. Great actress.
Big difference to that.
Yeah. Yeah, very interesting
very
movie.
Scary by the looks of it.
So very scary.
Who did you say the director was of this one?
Oh, the director. It's based on a short story, but the director, he's done quite a few movies before. He's done
scary ones or not?
No, like kind of serious drama. So this is his first foray into horror.
Good luck.
Interesting, yeah.
Sounds fantastic.
But for your horror fans, yeah, it's a good one.
That's coming soon as well?
Yeah, called Antlers. Yeah,
all right, well, what about the New Mutants? Now, this one looks good to me.
New Mutants, this was in production hell for a while and then coming out, so it's had several delays. It's finally out. The whole thing is, if you haven't seen a superhero movie for a while, and also it's sort of a bit of a teen drama thing and a little bit of horror aspects to it, it's a popular X-Men comic title. So if you like the X-Men, these are the mutant kids, and they've actually been kept in this house / hospital. It's a bit scary, and they're trying to escape and get out. So this is them dealing with that situation, but also they're teenagers, so they're discovering their powers and also trying to work out what they can do in this situation.
It's virtually starting again, but with the teenagers, so they've got a few more years.
But it's a bit more dramatic and a bit more scary than usual X-Men kind of thing. But yeah, it's interesting, but it's finally out, so people can.
Well, that's out right now, folks. So the New Mutants.
Finally, yes.
Check it out for yourself. Let us know what you think. And the final one.
The last one here. This is awesome. The French Dispatch.
I like the look of this one.
Wes Anderson, the director, he is known for this style, the colours, everything. He did The Life Aquatic. Amazing movies that he's done have this distinct style, and it's also every movie that he does, there's certain cast members that are in it that everyone goes, this is his style.
So the director's Wes
Anderson. What was that?
No, Adam Sandler always has his friends.
His is kind of, he has his own style.
Yes.
But this is Wes Anderson. So you have your usual Wes Anderson film cast in this, and a lot too. Willem Dafoe, Adrian Brody, Owen Wilson, he's in nearly all of his movies.
Actors.
Jason Schwartzman and Bill Murray. I love it when Bill Murray's in his movies. Henry Winkler, the Fonz is in this.
Henry Winkler.
And an interesting one of the main actors in this one is Timothée Chalamet. He's this young guy, amazing actor, but he's also in the upcoming movie version of Dune as the lead character in this, and he's great. Like he's been in a few movies previously, and a very big and upcoming young actor. And this movie looks astonishing. The style, The French Dispatch.
Now, when's this one coming out? Very soon,
this is coming soon as well. Yeah, but this one is definitely one to check out because Wes Anderson's style to the movie, it's just it's funny but also really enjoyable just to
Out of
watch.
those 4 movies, which one do you reckon is the
I'm
best?
really excited about The French Dispatch myself.
Well, when we get the screening, I'll invite you to go and watch it.
Yes, please.
Sounds
That'd be
fantastic. They're the 4 movies.
Yes.
They're slowly, we're getting good titles come out.
Yeah,
and
that's
we'll
great.
keep you informed. Thank you to Disney who sent, I think they were Disney movies, those ones.
Yes.
They may have been Disney. Anyway, thank you to the distributors who have started to send things to us.
Yeah, it's
I've got
good.
some more next week from Sony.
Yep.
And a few others. So we'll
so
keep
they're
you
all coming in,
informed
which
with
is
what's
good.
coming through.
Yeah.
Now, streaming's a big thing. Now, we've got the top 5s, what you've recommended for us.
Yeah,
to
well,
watch.
this is what I've been watching lately. The first one is I enjoyed on Amazon Prime The Boys Season 1. That was out late last year. Finally, season 2 is here. These are the boys, the Butcher and Huey, these regular guys, and they're taking it to the superheroes who are corrupt and dirty and mean superheroes, but they have this facade that they're all like, all American, patriotic, nice guys. And yeah, it's great. They're just taking down heroes one by one, these horrible superheroes that behind the scenes they're doing wrong things. It's a bit violent and grisly, but the comedic level on this is insane. Carl Urban's one of the main guys, the Butcher. But yeah, there's actually several new superheroes, and one of them is this lady called Stormfront. And man, like the original bad superhero in this is Homelander, this sort of blue-eyed blonde guy, stereotypical sort of American Pie kind of guy. This Stormfront lady, man, she's a whole level of scary in this one. So when you watch this series, it's currently on episode 4 or 5. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, best to recap on season 1. But a handy hint is if you sign up for Amazon Prime, you get like 14 days free. So you can easily get through this.
There's your tip. You can do that with Stan as well. A lot of them offer you the 3 months.
They'll just give it to you. But the thing is, the good thing, especially like with Stan, you watch a couple, but then you go, wait a sec, Stan's actually got like a lot of the classics as well.
Correct.
Like heaps of great
lots of
series
entertainment
as well.
there. Now that one there is called The Boys, and that's out now, isn't it? It's out on
yes, it's out now on Amazon Prime. Season
all right,
2.
now this one here, our floor manager said to tell her everything about.
Spoiler alert.
She wants you to tell her the whole
just
story.
Just quickly talk about Mulan on Disney Plus. You have to pay extra to watch this one because it's exclusive, because they didn't have a cinematic release. So on top of your $8.99 per month with Disney Plus, you have to pay $34.99.
Oh wow!
Which lets you watch this. This is an area of contention for a lot of people because they're going, that's
We've
a little bit
already
expensive.
paid a premium.
I've already paid for like the subscription. The whole thing is it's free around December. So if you want to watch it early, this is Disney's doing their thing. It's kind of strange. Mulan, it's the remake of the original animated movie from the 90s, which was very popular. Interesting. I had a bit of issues with it because for me, there's a few things. Spoiler alert, everybody. There's no singing in it. There's a whole lot of stuff that's irregular to the cartoon.
They have singing in this?
Eddie Murphy played the original Mushu, the talking dragon in the cartoon. Guess what? There's no talking dragon in this.
Really?
So that really
it's a shame. I don't want to tell people there's no talking dragon.
But the weird thing is, like the previous movies, Beauty and the Beast and Aladdin, which were the live-action versions, they all had full musical numbers and performances. So when I was watching this with my kids, we're all going like, where's all the fun?
But you know what? There'll be people out there that will still love it.
Oh, they'll still love it because it's a live version thing. Correct. But it is tricky because you'll watch the cartoon and then you go, oh, wait, there is a lot of differences with this. Whereas Aladdin and Beauty and the Beast, not so many because there's similar songs.
Anything else you want to know, Bridget? No, she said no. Okay. You've told her enough. Des on Stan.
Des on Stan. This is coming out in the next week or two. David Tennant, nearly everyone's favourite Doctor Who. He's also in Good Omens. He is playing. This is a real life accounting of the Scottish serial killer Dennis Nilsen.
Real story.
Des.
True story.
So David Tennant is playing this guy. It's directed by Lewis Arnold, who also did a couple of series that I loved was Misfits and Humans as well on BBC. I've only seen the trailer for this, but man, he is scary in this one.
Did I see someone wearing a mask?
There was the whole. Yeah, that's very strange. But he got away with. He murdered about a dozen people, and the whole thing that this is about is like, how did he get away with it for so long? Very strange, because like you get actors playing a murderer type person, and you think, oh, are they hamming it up or are they doing anything with this character? And he said with this one, no, I'm playing it straight because this actual guy in real life was very cold and
it looks
calculating.
To me like because it's factual.
It's factual, so it is taken on accounts, but obviously it's trying to show you the things that you might not have been able to see, especially when they're interviewing him, that sort of thing.
Fantastic. That's on Stan.
So that's Des on Stan.
I hate Susie like you hate Susie.
So
this one's on Stan as well.
This is on Stan as well. So this is a bit of British drama, a bit of comedy as well.
It'll probably be funny.
It is funny. Billie Piper, she's from Doctor Who as well.
Billie Piper, as in the singer.
Yes, she was a singer back in the 90s, late 90s.
Yes, I'm trying to think of her song.
She's also in Doctor Who. She was like probably in the top 10 of the Doctor Who system.
The tide is high, but I'm holding on. That's what she sang.
I'm not sure.
And she sang another song from, I'll remember it and I'll sing it.
Yeah, it's all right. Sing it straight.
Okay.
But she's in this. She was also, the writer for this series also wrote Diary of a Call Girl, which Billie Piper was in, and that was a highly commended performance in that. So this one, she's playing a celebrity that's actually been compromised via the whole, you know, they found pictures of you on the internet and everything, and this is her having various meltdowns throughout. But Billie Piper really sort of chews up the scenery in this and does a good job in this.
So many people would remember her as a pretty good singer, I guess, back then.
Yeah, but as an actor,
I don't know. Yeah. She's all right? You reckon as an actor she's all right?
Yeah, she's good. Dramatically as an actor as well.
This is I Hate Susie. It's on Stan.
I Hate Susie on Stan. And that's out now, so if you want to check that out.
Beautiful. Yeah. And Raised by Wolves.
Raised by Wolves. So you sci-fi fans, this one's huge. This one's on Foxtel, so this is exclusive, and it's currently in the middle of the season now. It's kind of a weird sci-fi drama. Androids are raising humans on this barren planet, but what's going on is other humans are coming to the planet as well, and how they're dealing with it. Are they a friend or foe? Very interesting. It's actually produced originally by Ridley Scott, who did Alien.
Oh, really?
As well. So it's actually quite a big production, but a very interesting drama.
Very credible.
But very cool sci-fi in it. Travis Fimmell's in it as well, from Vikings. Really cool cast. And there's a bunch of kids in the cast as well. They're great, like amazing actors in this one, but very good sci-fi series to check out.
Done, Foxtel. I would have thought it'd be on Binge, but Foxtel's still holding in there.
Yeah.
And we were talking about that paying for movies. Foxtel does that a lot too now. Where because of the cinemas not being around, people can't go to release.
They put quite a lot on there.
And you're paying about $30. But you know what? You got to think about 4 of you go to the movies. It would have cost you $100 or whatever. Yeah, so you're paying $30.
It's a strange payoff.
And we want to keep those movie distributors and companies and theatres open. So well done. Thank you very much, Paul. Thanks, it.
Fred.
Lots of streaming, lots and lots of movies. If you missed any of that, check out our Facebook version. You'll see Paul and me all over again if you choose to. Now, thanks to Palace Cinemas, we're giving you a chance of winning 2 of the standard tickets, 2 of the platinum tickets, which is like the Gold Lounge, just better. There's a beautiful cinema. If you haven't been down to Rain Square, looks a little bit like this one. They nationally look very similar. They've got beautiful facilities. They've got a beautiful wine bar there, beautiful restaurants. You can actually order your food from any of our Rain Square restaurants and have it brought up to your seats. Check it out for yourself, only $5 if you take your parking ticket up and validate it. So if you'd like to win 2 of each tickets, we're giving them away right now thanks to Palace Cinema. There it is, 0439 929 929. The code word is Palace, P-A-L-A-C-E. Name and address on your SMS. And please, anywhere in Australia where Palace Cinemas are, you can win, and you can win those tickets. It's not just Perth. Thank you very much to Palace Cinemas for those. Thank you to Paul. We're going to take a very quick break. Coming back after the break, we're talking about the Chittering Festival that's coming up between the 17th and 18th of October. See you then. Welcome back to the couch. The fantastic Taste of Chittering is coming up on the 17th of October and 18th of October. You thought it was only going to be one day. 2 days, but that's it. So don't miss out. We've got a special guest in today. One of the coordinators is here talking to our very own Nisha Seth. Her and I are going.
We sure are, Fred. Thank you so much. This year, in its 9th year, A Taste of Chittering. Great to have a local event on the show as usual. Caroline James Events is hosting it for the first year though, and here to talk all about it is Rachel Pronk, their events coordinator. Welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Nisha.
Very excited to find out what's happening this year. Tell us all about A Taste of Chittering.
Yes, so Chittering is only a short 45-minute drive away from Perth. It's absolutely beautiful. It's known for its orange orchards, its vineyards, its green rolling hills, and that's exactly what A Taste of Chittering is all about, celebrating the local produce, the beer, wine and food of this beautiful countryside region.
Very exciting. Now tell us, there's a lot of foodies that watch the show and we're lovers of wine, well most of us, so tell us what we can expect on that front.
So we have a beautiful event program this year. We're so excited. We've made sure to include something for absolutely everyone, including foodies such as myself. So we have a great farmers market stall. You can walk and taste and sample all the beautiful food at the stalls, as well as some pop-up dining, some live cooking demonstrations, and this year we also have some masterclasses where you can sit back and enjoy the beautiful countryside and have a chef cook some beautiful food for you.
Oh, I can see some great footage there from previous years and very exciting. Now it's 2 days, so of course a lot of people have little kiddies, so I hear kids are free.
Yes, so the kids will love our Little Farmers Corner that we have this year. We have so many free activities activities that the kids can enjoy. We have a animal farm where kids can cuddle up with all their farmyard favourites, as well as having the Chittering wildlife carers on board as well. They've got some local animals, some joeys, some bobtails, some corellas. It's absolutely beautiful. We've also got some performers who'll be doing some face painting and some nature crafts. So yeah, lots of free activities for the kids to enjoy.
That's awesome. And also, like all good events now, we're very environmentally conscious. I believe you have an electric bike tour. Tell us about those.
Yes, so the festival's located at Neshy Estate Wine Farm this year, which is beautiful. The countryside is gorgeous. But for those people who want to see just a little bit more of Chittering, we've got the electric bike tours on offer this year. So we've collaborated with Paul's Eco e-bike tours, where you can hop on an electric bike and go through the vineyards, the wildflowers, and stop over for a little wine tasting at Stringy Bark Wine as well.
That sounds amazing. I can see Fred smiling in the background there. He'll be all into that. Now, Chittering is also known for its beautiful fresh produce, as you mentioned. So can you tell us about the growers and how people can find this festival and get involved?
Yeah, so like I said, we have some great farmers markets. We've collaborated with some amazing vendors this year. So you can buy all this organic fruit and vegetables directly from the farmers and the growers. We've also got some beautiful seasonal produce at the farmers markets as well. So honeys, olive oils, spices. You can just walk away with like a week's worth of groceries, knowing exactly where you got it from. And organic always just tastes the best. So
it does. Beautiful. And a good festival, or a taste of Chittering, should I say, would not be the same without a competition. I hear there's a beer brewing competition.
Yes, so this is the first year we've introduced a beer brewing competition at A Taste of Chittering this year. So it's open to all amateur beer brewers, and you can enter via our website. Yes, put the call out for that one. So yes, you can enter our competition. We've collaborated with Outback Brewing Co this year and have a fantastic prize. Our theme for the beer brewing competition, you basically need to brew a beer, which is a beer for Perth's countryside. So being as creative as you want with that one. Wonderful. And our prize this year is the winner will walk away with a small batch brew of their beer being released at Fremantle Beer Festival, which is awesome.
Oh, wow.
So a taste for the public.
What a way to start your career in beer brewing.
Yeah, fantastic.
That's awesome. I might have to do some lessons, Fred, separately before we get there, although I've only got a couple. There we go. Now, how do people get more information about tickets?
Yeah, fantastic. So people can go to our website. It's www.atasteofchittering.com.au to purchase tickets, or you can find us on socials on Instagram and Facebook at A Taste of Chittering.
Wonderful. And I'm sure tickets are affordable as well, right?
Yes, so it's only $20 per person. Kids are also free.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us, Rachel, and we look forward to having you back on the couch soon.
Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
And I will see you there, so will Fred.
Yes, can't wait.
Now, if you've missed any of that, of course, you can go to thecouch.com.au or our Facebook page. But for now, it's back to you, Fred.
Thank you very much, Nisha. And Rachel, can I just give you some warning? Make sure they stock up on the wine.
Oh, we will have plenty, don't worry.
About the beer. And, of course, for me, the bikes, don't worry about it. If other people want those bikes, because I don't think the motors are strong enough. It sounds like an amazing couple of days. You've got no reason, Perth, not to go down. Please support them, Western Australia. Drive up, stay in Perth the night, go to Chittering. The food, the wine, the people, the music, the bikes, everything, and brew your own beer as well. What a bonus. That is, of course, A Taste of Chittering. Thank you to Natalie Cameron from NRC. Thank you again to Rachel Bronk. We'll see her very soon on the couch. And thanks to Nisha. Back with Bitchin' straight after this. Well done.
Connect with The Couch online through Facebook, Instagram and YouTube.
Welcome back to the couch. Time for bitchin'. As always, we've got three amazing people to entertain us and talk about the news stories that you're talking about. Let me introduce them today. It is, of course, Chris Ilsley from 6PR's Perth Tonight. Welcome back.
Good evening.
Nice to have you here.
Oh, thank you very
Merrigan
much.
from haveagonews.com.au.
Yes, hello.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
You also missed one other thing.
Yeah.
Yachty extraordinaire.
Yachty. Yes,
Apparently, if we get lost on the seven seas, this one can navigate us back.
Really?
Yes.
Yep.
Or we drown.
Well, does
Or
that
we drown and you'll be...
We need
there's
my
a job
partner
there at
as well.
6
He's the skipper.
Oh, right,
Yeah.
okay.
Now, Ted Bull, welcome back. Of course, I call you're a master of television, radio, and everything else you put your mind to. Well done, and welcome back.
Well, look, it's great to be back, but I Yeah, I have been somewhere. I went and spent a weekend down in Frio.
You were going to have a
Yes,
break.
did that fantastic. Went on the big wheel as well.
Oh,
yeah, which was great.
So you're still doing those drugs? And how did you get it past your wife, or did you go with her?
No. See, the good thing at my age, any drugs I'm on, it's all on prescription.
And you've got to pay for them. Welcome back, guys. Let's start with you, Ted, because you had a couple of interesting stories.
Well, first of all, I think I've got to talk about Koala Gate, which is happening in New South Wales, and basically the Nats there, because they represent the farmers...
They nearly fell apart.
Yeah. But they basically want to say no to the environmentalists who want to make it safe for koalas to live. Now, I don't care if you're an Australian. I mean, how can you possibly question koala? I have to tell you, you know chocolate koalas. I won't even eat them.
Do you know what?
I won't touch them because there's no way I'm going to
eat a koala.
No, I'm not going to eat a koala.
We all know during the fire, so many of them got killed.
We saw those terrible...
And they're sort of becoming extinct, so
no,
we
but
need to be
this
careful.
is it, they're not.
There are species in danger.
Yeah,
they're in danger.
But there's still lots of them, and I think there should be. I just could not believe when I read this story, all this COVID stuff going on.
Mind you, environmentalists have got a way of stretching the truth.
Well, hey, hang on. His partner, the Liberal Premier, has had the fallout with the Nat, who was his... So it's not just the environmental...
I remember
Yeah, Glad. Yeah, in fact, you know
she issued an ultimatum at 9 o'clock on Friday.
Yes,
she had to either be in or be out.
You know what it was called? It was called a Glad Rap.
Yes, correct.
Glad Rap.
Gladys. But you know what it is? They were never going to lose their jobs and pull out. Why would you lose government?
Yeah.
Because she still has
They
the
just wanted
numbers.
to make a point. And look, they did have a point.
Correct.
Because, and there's one thing, most of these city-based environmentalists haven't got a clue
No, you see,
about
you're
farming.
going down that track because
And
you don't want
farmers
to
know
admit
more about
that
the
Liberal
environment
Premier...
than city-based environmentalists, I'm telling you.
Oh, look,
now.
Make your point.
I'm here to defend the koalas.
Tell me about the Liberal Premier. I'm interested in that.
Well,
what has she done?
she's a Liberal Premier and she's doing a pretty good job, he said. As
She's
all
probably the only
premiers.
one that's being
Gee, that's not bad.
recommended.
That's
3
high
points left.
praise.
Well, the Prime Minister loves her and uses her as an example of good government, good COVID, good management, good everything. And yet she's got numbers coming out of everywhere. But look, I do think she's doing a great job, and she was strong enough to hold the
Especially for the
coalition.
koalas, too.
Well, she held the coalition together, so she had a win.
Well, at the moment, see, he's that. What's his name, Barbarillo or something like that.
Well, what's he going to do? He's not going to hold government in his own right anyway.
No, well, he's not. Yeah, it's all. But
So if he
anyway,
blows her
But
out
it's
of the
his
water.
job as a national to defend
To
the
represent
farmers.
his
I
constituents.
understand that, but
Yeah, I mean,
but-
that's the joys of
Do we
but
really need
someone
the
has to
Nationals?
defend Blinky Bill.
They do in the bush, mate. I can assure you. They do in
Oh
the
yeah,
bush.
I
but
guess
see,
it
they're
could
not
be.
native to Western Australia.
I know, it's sad, isn't it?
But we've got them up at Yanchep. Hey,
Yeah, and at
Exactly.
Caversham.
Now, just
Yeah,
quickly, you
yeah.
had another story as well. Did you
Oh,
want to
this
just
is
quickly
just a very
touch-
quick one,
We'll let you
because-
tell the story. We won't interrupt, so we can get it done.
Yeah, okay,
quickly.
fair
Yep.
enough.
Go on.
Oh, by the way, fair enough. Maybe the story is the sounds of silence.
We're losing about 30 seconds then. Can we...
Oh, you want me to mention
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
very,
We're
very
not going to
quickly.
interrupt you, so you can actually tell
I
the
think
story.
recently I mentioned how I sort of have these guilt things, and my latest guilt is having been away, and there in the hotel there's the tea bags, the coffee, the sugar.
Now, we're
I
talking about a
haven't used.
hotel room, folks.
Yeah, and in the hotel room
we
there's
need to call
all
a
this
priest for
soap and stuff
confession
like
at
that,
this
and I think I want to take it. And I do, but then I feel guilty. I sort of feel.
It's your duty to take
You sure
it.
that I'm not going to set off alarms as I go
Correct.
out? Rio, check
It's
him for
advertising.
shampoo.
Look, I did say I took a pillow once, but because it was so comfortable, I wanted to take it home and buy some more. Never gave it back, but then when I went back, they had a menu with all the prices on it.
And
to tell
said,
people,
Fred, don't take the pillow.
well, it said if you want it, order it, and we'll give it to you for
So
this
it's
much.
okay, I can do that. I can knock off the pillow too.
And pay for it. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Jen, can I just have a quick answer? Do you think it's good to take things out of the hotel room, like tea and
The-
coffee and shampoo?
I don't take the tea and coffee, but I always take
I wouldn't take the tea, it's-
No, I take all the little shampoo and
I do
conditioner
too.
and,
And the
soap
soap.
and things.
I have to confess, I've never taken anything. How boring am I?
Oh, boring.
Jen, tell us your story. I know Bridget's telling us to move on.
Well, we need a land army, Fred. We've got to bring back the land. Well, it was actually the women's land army of World War II.
Yeah, it certainly was.
We have not got enough workers for our agricultural industry, and
Now, we're
this
talking
is
about
across Australia.
The fruit pickers.
And
Well, the backpackers aren't here, so the people who would ordinarily pick the fruit are not here to pick it.
But
Yeah,
tell us the
people
story.
that Jen represents through her newspaper.
Yep.
There's an immediate
army there.
All right, now tell us
well,
the story, so
anyway,
because I know we're running
there's
out
of time. The workers' comp
thousands
probably
of
won't
dollars
cover
in
it.
tempting rebates
Yep.
have been put on the table to attract young West Aussies. So with the COVID restrictions, as we all
Yeah,
know, we're lacking
Well,
workers.
the government's offering a lot of money to these people.
So to entice potential fruit pickers, shearing assistants, and into the regions, there's up to 3,800 in rebates.
Okay. Well, I tell you what I think, and then you guys.
Assistance is shed handing, and that pays a lot of money.
I think, and you might disagree or agree, but I think when there's jobs out there and people are getting these, we're talking about under 25-year-olds, okay, single under 25-year-olds.
JobKeeper.
There's JobKeeper and JobSeeker. If you are sitting at home on $3,000 a month, and I don't have an issue with that, but if you're not working,
and you're
the government should force these people to go and do these jobs.
Not only that, I think they're missing out on a great opportunity in life. I mean, they could meet their future partner.
And I guess if they're willing to pay for the accommodation and maybe the airfares to start with, some people may take it up as a great deal.
I think they should say...
There's a $500 relocation and travel allowance.
Well, I think they should say that if you are physically capable of doing the work, you should do the work.
Correct.
Yeah.
I think you're 100% right. Would you all agree that?
Oh,
I think
we all agree.
If you're unemployed, you're getting
raise your hands just for the exercise.
Yes.
There we go.
I think people should be made to do these jobs, and I think we're getting
This is the first time
Well, that's why I
agreed
think we
on
need a land army.
Yeah, I agree.
I think we spend too much time not upsetting people, whereas it's a time where everybody is doing it tough. A lot of people do it
Now you
tough.
have all these millennials who do this for us every time.
How many of the crew
picking fruit?
would work picking fruit if they paid you $4,000 and $500 to go and relocate? Yes, yep. There's two or three of them have said yes. 3 out of 5.
There you go.
Majority. Chris, your turn.
Yes. The West Australian Premier, Mark McGowan, has accused the Commonwealth of attacking Labor states.
I saw that.
It was inevitable it was always going to happen, wasn't it? There was always going to be a partisan battle at some point. Well, to be fair, the Liberal states, South Australia doesn't have any problems, so nobody...
I have to say to you, Chris, the Queensland Premier deserved a bit of flack because...
Why does she always deny her Polish
Do you know what
heritage?
annoyed
That really
me a little
does my
bit?
head in.
The fact that the young lady's father passed away, and the Prime Minister rang the Premier, and he didn't bully her.
Oh, come
he basically,
on. That's just one sad story.
No, I agree.
The
The fact is, 3 came out in that one day, and I think I'm not blaming the Premier because they've got their policy. I'm saying as Australians, we need to soften up.
You know what
I
the
would rather
ridiculous
go and
thing
see my
was, though?
father passing away than not get COVID. I'm sorry.
Fred, that would be sad. It's sad if you go through all the things that are happening in Australia. It's very sad.
But are
and
they
that was
needed?
taken on by
But
the
are they
media
needed? Correct.
as a great story to tug at the heartstrings.
Are all these bloody restrictions still needed?
Are they necessary?
I mean, she tried to hide behind the fact the Premier who keeps denying her Polish heritage.
What does that have to do with it?
Because she mispronounces her own surname.
Okay, and the other point that I have to make, Ted, I don't know if you saw the story. Can I tell you,
her Polish
folks,
heritage,
just the story that went to air, and it's got nothing to do with individuals. We're talking about these restrictions being unfair. When the Premier threw it at the Chief Medical Officer of Queensland, the Chief Medical Officer was asked, why have you got these hard restrictions, yet you let Tom Hanks come into the country and 1 million footballers and their VIPs
and their wives?
And did you hear her answer? Because they bring a lot of money to the state.
of course.
And if that was my father dying and you threw that argument at me,
bringing money
I
to the
would
state
strangle
was
you.
more important than
Because
somebody
my
being able to
family's
see
just
a
as
father before he died.
Well, the reality is, I mean,
How can you not
privilege
agree
is
with
well,
that?
privilege is
Yes.
there. We know privilege, and we were talking off air about how we all, at some time, and you too, we've all been privileged and been given little things or big things.
Yeah, I agree.
The other thing is, Julius Caesar once said, "Give them bread and circuses," and that's what they're doing. Football is the circus.
So do you think there may be these Labor states coming up to elections and they're using this? I don't think our
Anastasia
borders will come down until after March.
Mark McGowan is as well. 6
but-
months
Yeah,
away.
he's not worried.
Hang on.
No.
I know we need to go. If I just give you a quick reply.
Yeah, okay.
Quick one.
I think these
10
Labor
seconds.
states who are coming up to elections are now being taken on by the Conservative federal government because they want to support their mates in the states, which is fair enough. I accept it.
Fair enough.
It's the way of the world.
Jen, what do you think?
Anastasia Palaszczuk is a shocking Premier. There is no question.
Jen, what do you think?
I think,
And then
you know,
can wrap it up.
they're definitely going to be they're going to play every political game they can.
Yeah.
And when the elections are coming up, they're going to
But
use
that's their
everything.
job, isn't it,
It
Jen?
is.
Look,
They're going
they're
to
all
use
playing
everything
politics,
they can.
but I do think, from what I've seen, even our own Premier, Chris, and you probably agree, a lot of these border controls, if he lifted them, I don't think much is going to change because nobody's going to come to Perth for many of those
It's like his
states.
change in the maintaining the no evictions and no rent rises. Mate, that just happens to end probably what's going to be about 2 weeks after the state election. It's all with an eye to the great prize.
But that's
and the
fine.
problem is, and that's the problem when you got Mr. 91%, politicians start believing their own BS and then develop a messianic
Remember,
complex.
when you're 91%, the only way you can really go is down.
But then always remember this: Winston Churchill won a war and was kicked out several years after.
Yeah, but
He
that's
was,
only
but
because,
then he went back in and he was...
but that's only because he was a good wartime
no, this
prime
is
minister.
after
that I
the
hope
deal
would-
was
Can I ask? I think we've got a
I
minute
know, but
left.
then he went back again.
No,
Can I ask
yes,
you?
he did.
Can I ask
No,
you?
he
opinion?
came back again in the
He went back.
1950s.
Yeah,
I think
he
we
came
just wrap
back
it up.
in.
But he never did tell me.
Yes,
Ted,
did.
Well,
Ted,
I
and
believe
Jen
you.
and
Yeah.
Have a
Chris, can I
silence and telling.
can I ask you a question? Do you think these border controls? I don't want any politics. Just a yes or no answer. Do you think the closure of borders, the controls that are in most of the states, do you think they're a little bit harsh, or do you think we should soften them a little bit? If you agree with them, just say you do.
I
There's no problem. I'm not going to have
look,
a go.
I'm all for. Look, I'm not sick. You're not sick. You're not. We're
Okay.
not sick.
Fair enough. Fair enough. A lot of people agree with you. Jen.
Yes, at the moment.
Okay, Chris.
I think they should soften them.
And I have to agree with you too, Chris, only because my logic says that even if you brought the borders down, you still have people on the borders checking people. You'd still have to go into quarantine. And I don't know any person in Melbourne or Sydney or Queensland that's stupid that's going to come to Perth, sit in a hotel for 2 weeks and pay $5,000 and then go, oh, I'm still here for another 2 weeks. Oh, where am I again? Perth. Nobody's going to come to Perth. I am sorry.
Yeah,
the only
but
people going
family-
to... I get it.
families
I get it. But we
Yeah.
should allow West Australians to come home.
Yeah, West Australians should be.
definitely.
There are
Yeah.
lots
They
of West
should.
Australians.
There's a lot out there.
I got one who's been emailing me. They'd sold their house in
Debbie.
Melbourne. They're ready to move back. Quite happy to
Yeah.
go into quarantine.
We've
They
had a
can't
lot.
get back, and it's costing them God knows how much a week because they're having to pay
Chris,
accommodation in
and we're
Melbourne.
talking about 6PR. I've had several when I've been filling in there. A West Australian called Debbie that's over in Sydney or Melbourne, stuck over there. She can't come back.
Yeah.
She's applied and they've knocked her back. How do you knock back a West Australian from coming home when you
It
allow?
gets back to what I mentioned earlier. There are a lot of very sad stories.
There's a lot of
And I
stories.
really feel sorry for them. I'm
Very
not
true.
being facetious. I
Ted
really
Bull, you are
am
always
sorry.
a breath of fresh air,
Oh.
even though it's sometimes the
That-
air's not
that's-
blowing hard
Well,
enough.
that's better than being the
Thank you very much.
halitosis, isn't
Nah.
it? Yeah.
Good to have different feedback. Thank you to Ted. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Hope so.
Jen Merrigan, haveagonews.com.au, new edition
Yes,
coming out soon.
absolutely.
Check it out. Big story.
Yeah, always big stories.
haveago.com.au, that's the newspaper. Chris Elsley, Monday to Friday, 6PR, 8 to 12, 6pr.com.au. Check out the app or listen in from 8 to 12 every night, Monday to Friday.
Beautiful.
Thank you for being here.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
That is it from us. We're right out of time. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you to the crew. They've done a wonderful job, as always. Thanks to all our guests. And we'll see you next week. Keep smiling. Bye for now.